wanted to address, since I don't know if there's any Madonna fans in the room, but Miss Mamas is in Rio right now, so I'm excited. She's getting ready to do the last date of the celebration tour. She's doing a special show. I was watching the MOVC podcast, Madonna Louise Veronica Ciccone. Um, and Stefan, who does the show, he always interviews people who went to the show and all this other stuff, and he was dropping some gems. So he said that the word on the street is she's adding 3 new songs to the set list versus what she did with the celebration. So I kind of wish she would have added songs from that on the previous thing, I mean, on the previous show, but on the show that I went to. But I understand, like, it was go time. You were just getting over being sick, and she was still recovering as she went on the tour, and she was being a trooper and really pushing through. And I don't know if Madonna is 100% physically yet. But I did love the fact that, when she was in Mexico City, that she had Salma Hayek come out on the last official Mexico City date. I was hearing stories of how she was getting real candid with the audience in regards to talking about, like, all her friends. Like, she was talking about how death has always followed her, from her mother to all of her friends who died, Keith Haring and so many other celebrity friends that have passed over the years that she knew. And then I guess from her illness and her damn near dying. And then also how she talked about how she traveled to Mexico to bring drugs over to America to help, a lot of her friends who were dying of AIDS. So I didn't even know a lot about that type of stuff. So I was like, it was good to hear that type of stuff, and I'm hoping that is incorporated in the concert film, which I feel like after this Rio show, which I'm really hoping and praying that somebody has, whoever's gonna be out there, many of you fans, whatever, have your phones good and charged and record this entire tour so I can watch it, because I want to see this damn show. Because unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to watch it because of the whole, I don't have the channel or whatever, and I'm not paying for another damn streaming service. Because a friend of mine was asking me how can he stream it, and he said that he went on the channel or whatever that it's supposed to be broadcasting on. He got to pay. I was like, I ain't paying for another damn service. So I'm hoping that with some real cool person will take, like they did this tour, and put it on YouTube so I could see it. But anyway, so they were talking about that she's adding 3 songs and stuff. And I was sitting there thinking, because what Stefan had asked through the show, I was like, you know what, let me do my own version. So what songs would I love to see Madonna perform? One, I need her to perform music, because I'm like, how you do this tour and you don't do music? I would have liked for her to close out with music, but I think I've had this conversation before on the show with, it probably was Felix or somebody, where I was just saying, like, maybe she's closed out with music before, and that was during the Drowned World tour. But you can switch it up. Like, she always remixes and reverses her songs and switches it up or whatever. So I would have loved to have seen her bring that. So I'm hoping that's a choice that she brings on. Also, I don't know how you had the celebration tour and you ain't do celebration. Like, that don't make no damn sense. You call the celebration tour, and we should have been saying, "Come join the party. It's a celebration." Like, we should have been doing that damn song. That should have been a part of it. Hopefully, that'll be like the closer of songs. But she's already closed with that song during, what was it? Was it the MDNA tour, the Sticky and Sweet? I think it was the MDNA tour. She closed out with that song on. But I'm like, girl, you can close out with that song again, or have that be the encore, the second to the last track. And I feel like the third and final song that she should do, I don't know if I did say the other day that I want to hear "Who's That Girl." So maybe she could add that. Or if not, can we get a brand new song? Because Madonna, we know you've been working with Max Martin in the studio. We saw the pictures and stuff online, how y'all were having writing sessions, and you've been working with him on a lot of stuff. And Max Martin is a genius. So, especially like when it comes to producing and all that other stuff, and I would definitely love to hear the type of creativity that whatever they cooked up in the studio, because I know, even though he did have a bit of a misfire with Ariana Grande with Yes and he did work on a lot of this new album, but like I've had conversations with people before. I don't even think Ariana Grande wanted to do this album. I feel like that this was a label obligation that she just put this record out because she didn't really promote it. She was just like, I'm not doing no videos. I'm gonna just give y'all a guess and then the whole album, y'all just gonna have to take it in and embrace it. And I don't even think the album did that. I think it did well amongst her fans, but it's kind of like nobody's talking about it. Everybody's talking about Taylor Swift now. That's all everybody want to talk about. So I haven't heard anything regarding her, but I think she's more focused on this relationship with that married man and Wicked, that's supposed to be coming out. She's gearing up to deal with that. I don't even think she's thinking about this Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind album. So that's what I feel like I need. I need, the 3 songs I gave y'all. I need Madonna to also, I don't know, it's probably gonna take them a couple of months to edit and put this thing together. I don't need too many, whistles and all this other stuff and slow-mos and all that, because when y'all overproduced her tour, that kind of irritated me, especially that last tour that y'all recorded. I didn't particularly care for the Madame X tour, and I didn't care for the one before that. It was what was it, the Rebel Heart? I did not like the edits on the Rebel Heart tour. It was just too slow mo, and it was just too many weird. It was just too many things that they were adding, and then I'm like, it's taking me out of the experience. Like I want that real feeling of like actually being there at the show. Like you can give us like really cool cuts and capture all the moments of the costumes and the choreography and all those things. Like pick really good shots, and I do believe that Jonas Akerlund is going to be putting this together because he's been traveling with her a lot, especially like when there's been recordings. I know they did record some stuff in New York, they did record some stuff in LA, but I believe the only reason why they're settling on the 5 days that she did in Mexico City because the energy was unlike any other place. I feel like in America, I hate to admit it, but I do feel like we take our idols for granted. I feel like we know at the end of the day that those celebrities are always going to come and they're going to perform at our establishments, and we're always going to have the money, and we're going to find a will and a way to go see them and support them. Like we know Madonna's always going to come and perform in New York because she always feels like New York is basically her home away from home. I mean, even though she does live here, but she's a Michigan girl, but she always feels like New York is her true home. So I already know like she's gonna come here. And I think at times, yeah, I do take her for granted because I know she's gonna perform here. Whereas people in European countries, when you go overseas, be it, if you go to Spain or Paris or these other places, there's no guarantee that she's going to perform in those establishments. There's no guarantee that she's going to do Mexico City. So when she shows up there and the energy of the audience is unlike anything she's experienced on the US and the other legs on her tour, I can see why she's like, well, fuck these other places. Let's just give it to, this energy is unlike any of the energy that I've experienced, and I'm definitely feeling it. And you're giving me the energy that I need to get through this show, then you appreciate it more. And seeing Salma Hayek show up on the last night dressed as Frida Kahlo, who you know is Madonna's one of her favorite painters, um, I was like, first of all, that's my Virgo twin because she and I was born the same day. She's September 2nd, I'm September 2nd, Cat Williams is September 2nd, and Keanu Reeves is September 2nd. So those are my Virgo siblings because we born the same day, September 2nd. So that's why I cherish them even more, especially Salma Hayek. And then she was up there looking good. That waist was snatched. And she looked the part. She had like the Frida Kahlo look up top and then the skirt. And then the top part where she had the bra on and the little jacket, it was giving vintage Madonna from back in the 80s. So I actually love that look. And I love the fact that, because her husband owns a couple of fashion houses, she has access to the fashions and really coming in and being that fashion girl. So that's good on Selma part. See, a lot of us, we intellects and we Virgos, we do overthink everything. So don't think she didn't think about that look when she showed up there. And I know a lot of people was suspecting Christina Aguilera, maybe some Mexican drag queen, somebody else will show up. And that's another thing too. I really hope they incorporate a lot of the drag queens, like especially when they do the Vogue number, and they juxtapose that into the show. Like I do want to see. I hope they cut it sort of like the unapologetic bitch segment of the Rebel Heart tour, where you have all the celebrities and stuff there, like the Ricky Martin, all the other people that showed up. And I hope y'all do show that boy putting his face all up in Ricky crotch. Like incorporate that because, Madonna's a naughty girl, so she's going to want to have that up in there. But I really hope that they show all the drag queens and stuff too, because Vogue, ballroom, all that other stuff comes from the trans community, drag, gay culture and stuff. So you want to incorporate those drag race girls and a couple of other drag queens that they had. Because I also heard they had Pixie Aventura up there, who is a New York queen, which didn't make sense why they had her on the Mexican leg. You could have had her up there during the Kelly Ripa one. We didn't want her up there. You could have put Pixie up there. Like, we know who she is. She's one of those, she is a prominent drag queen in the New York scene. So I would have preferred to have her up there for that. So I don't know. I wanted this whole Madonna rant. I don't, that wasn't planned, but I'm just saying that, I'm really excited for this whole Rio tour. I'm glad that the Brazilians are going to actually get to see this show. I did see some of the, they're already setting up the stage and stuff, but it's about the place that they are building is huge. I know I have some friends of mine who are big Madonna fans that are kind of worried in regards to like the security, like how is the security thing? But I'm sure, like, what, Madonna has been around for 4 decades. She and her people are not stupid in a way where they're going to be thinking, okay, so we need to make sure that security is up to the nines, especially since this is a free show. I'm sure people, even though they're building the stage now, people are already camped out there, ready to, get first come, first serve dibs to the stage and to see this iconic show and this iconic moment. And so what I'm hoping is after this whole thing is done, the tour, that at least Madonna will put together not only the tour, which I know we're going to get visually, it's probably going to end up on Paramount Plus. But also, I want a documentary, which is like, okay, her getting back into the fix of things, putting this tour together, getting back out there and really performing it. Because I feel like that's what the fans really want to see. We want to see, like, after her being in the hospital and Guy coming to her like, okay, so sis, you going on tour now? Like, I hate the way that it comes out like because it just makes it seem like, okay, look, we got obligations. I know you sick, you damn near at death's door, but are we gonna have to cancel dates or you gonna do the show or whatever? And Madonna being the icon, the trooper that she is, she's not gonna take no for an answer. She's gonna get up there and she's gonna do what needs to be done in regards to putting, making this show happen. Because she wasn't trying to pay all them fines and stuff for having to cancel all these venues she already booked. So I would love to see her have her Rocky moment, which is sort of like getting her, pulling herself up by her bootstraps and really getting out there and getting back into the fix of things and getting this tour up and running. Because I feel like that would really humanize her. Because we've seen the elements of Madonna being humanized on the tour. Like, we've really gotten this side of her that we've never gotten before. Because she always tries to come across as like this hardened, strong woman, warrior that she will show vulnerability when she's performing and all those others at that time. But I feel like we've never seen Madonna this vulnerable, this appreciative, this nostalgic, like really taking it all in and being in the moment. So that's what I really appreciated about, being able to see this tour, especially the final night of her New York stint, because, it's always when it's the final night, that energy is different than, okay, I'm doing 3 or 4 shows prior. So probably the first show and the last show is always like, you'll really get the energy and the essence of that person. So I hope we get, we get a documentary and we get the tour. I would say like maybe like a Truth or Dare type of thing, release that in the theater. But I don't know if they're going to try to do all of that. And then, I want to see, I'm just looking forward to seeing this tour, but I feel like they need to release that really soon. Like before the end of the summer, that tour needs to come out. Don't have people wait 9 months because you need to have that whole capture that moment. And then when that tour stuff comes out, when it finally comes out for us to watch, then it needs to be announcement of like new music or whatever, because it's been a minute. I think it's been almost 5 years since Madam X. Like, it's time for some new music. We need, to show like, okay, so now you look back on your life and now it's like, okay, so this is a capture in time of like your life of 40 years in the business. Where are we go? What's the next step? What is the next ideas that you have in regards of pushing music forward? Because the people who don't support Madonna, we ain't talking about y'all. We talking about those who actually love and are her truest of fans. We want new music. I want new music. I know I do. So I definitely want to hear what she's been working on with Max Martin. And I really hope that soon, rather than later, because this tour is about to wrap up in the next couple of days with this Rio show, that we get new music. So get to it, sis. We love you over here. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of this story down below. I know I created a whole separate topic. This wasn't part of the episode, but I was like, I was just thinking about it and talk about it, and then I saw it was trending, so I was like, let me just talk about it. But I definitely want to know what you guys think, down below.